But before we get started, let's please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're currently at 810 subscribers. We're so close to getting to 1,000. It doesn't cost a thing. Please support the channel by subscribing, liking this video, commenting down below. If you guys like the Light Technical Analysis show, please subscribe, like, and comment. All right. So for today's episode, on the first round pick for our coins that we're going to be covering, we're going to pick the Dawn, the number one, the top one of all the cryptos, Bitcoin. I'm going to hand it over to Crypto Poppy.
All right. So like we said, we're starting with Bitcoin paired with the US dollar. We're on the weekly time frame. Data's coming in from Coinbase. So you could see here, we could just zoom out a little bit, take a look to see what we're working with. We're going with the overall Fibonacci in white. We have a couple trend lines in white as well, even though I probably need to change my trend line colors and then match up my horizontal ray colors a little bit. But you could see here, just zoomed out, looking at price action, you could see here, we've fallen from our previous all-time high, or our all-time high, excuse me. We've come down, we've melted through our overhead trend line here, melted through that. We really didn't even come up to retest it before continuing to the downside. Once we broke below the trend line, the Fibonacci took over. We broke down below the 618. We came below that. We were attempting to get back over the 618 here. You could see that, couple tries, movements towards the upside of the 618 before melting all the way to the downside. We came down and wicked below the 236 fib level. But what caught us? Take a look at what caught us. You could see here we drew our trend line from, I'm trying to line it up for you guys, from July 5th, 2021, excuse me. Second touch point looks to be right here, January 24th, 2022. And we have that extended out, and you could see it's played a few roles here, right? Stopping us from breaking over top. It was a little resistance here. Once we broke above it, it turned into support. We broke even further above it. And then eventually we get pulled right back to it. And that's what just happened. If you're a Bitcoin maximist, excuse me, I don't even know how to say that properly. Great buy orders would have been at previous all-time highs. So you could see here, these this 2 or 3 movements, top of the candle bodies here. You could see this one from November 8th, 2021. This one from April 12th, 2021, and just extend that out because it eventually needs to retest that. And that's what we just did. And then it lined up also with our trend line, which is acting as support currently. So hopefully this trend line keeps just steadily stair-stepping us up. That price action will gradually get higher and higher. And now we have our trend line over top, which will act as resistance when we eventually get back up there. So you could see here, we came back down. We broke below the 618. Like I said a few minutes ago, we retested it as resistance before getting rejected all the way back down. The 236 didn't hold up for the wick. We wicked down below the 236. We touched our support trend line here all the way from back in 2021 that we just covered. We retested that before bouncing off of it. And our candle body, let's zoom in and look at relatively, we could look at the most recent price action. You could see we wicked all the way down. Current price is at about 70,000. We wicked all the way down to about 60,000. So that wick to the downside is about a $10,000 wick. So we came down, touched and kissed the trend line as support before coming back up $10,000 and getting us above our 236. So extremely bearish for Bitcoin when we were down there around the mid to low $60,000 range. We were bought right back up because we have a lot of support to our left, right? Like I said, we covered these two highs. We covered all this price action in here. We had all that support. If you could look back at these, right? See where everything's lining up, all that support before hopefully moving back up to the upside. And that'll be a good relief rally for Bitcoin, right? We get all the news that's coming out, regardless if it's good or bad. We get a dump to come in with that because buy the rumor, sell the news. You know, it's still Bitcoin is still at least staying true to that. So it looks like we could bounce off of this trend line as support and start moving up to the upside. So I would say from current price, I would say our horizontal ray for our highs up here that line up with a lot of candle bodies, right? You have right here, you have December 9th, 2024. You have the following week, December 16th, 2024. You have multiple wicks here. You have a bunch of candle bodies, either retesting it as resistance here or touching down as support, right? The candle body's holding up. We may wick below it, but the candle bodies are still closing above it, on it, within it, right? We come down, retest it again, and then we melt below it. So look at the about $104,000 level to be a big level to overcome on the way up. But I know JJ likes this from current price to the $104,000 range is about 46% movement to the upside. We could look at roughly current price to our trend line overhead is about 54%. To our all-time high, which is our one movement of our Fibonacci, is about 80% movement to the upside. So you could see Bitcoin still has some work to do. We're somewhat range bound, but if you zoom out and look at it, just look at this, right? We come up, we come down. We come up, we come down. We start going parabolic. Obviously, we come down. What goes up can't go up forever. We retrace to the downside. We make a new all-time high, which is more, in my opinion, a double top before melting down. A little pump back up to the upside. We melt below it. Then we gradually start building our way up before really going parabolic. Choppy action, a lot of volatility. Retest that trend line, right? That was drawn from the 2021 time frame. Bounce off of that, go parabolic, create a real true all-time high, pull back and create a newer all-time high, our all-time high in general, before melting down to the downside. And what are we doing? We're retracing prior all-time highs. So we're making higher highs and higher lows. So everything with Bitcoin looks good. We don't want too much more money to flow into Bitcoin because we want that money to flow into altcoins. But with it already retracing $10,000 from our most recent wick low to current price action being $10,000, it's tough to say a majority of the capital and money will probably flow into Bitcoin, but we need Bitcoin to cool off around this level, I would say, between 104,000 and 96,000 is what that sweet spot. Let's chill in there. Let people take some profits and throw it into altcoins. Let's get a true and pure altcoin season going on. Let Bitcoin chill and relax a little bit to let that money flow into altcoins. And let's get a real altcoin season going. So that's all I have to say with Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks good. This is natural movement to the downside. I know people may be screaming manipulation, this and that, things about Bitcoin, but Bitcoin guides us. It's healthy to have a little dump. Let's have that dump. This is the time to buy, not financial advice, but to put some capital in. These are the prices that you see on the charts like, oh, Dash could never go to this. Anvil could never go back down to these levels. AMP could never go down to these levels. And then they do. Why aren't you just excited and ready to buy? Now you're scared and skeptical when these are the prices you were just begging for. Take advantage of it and let's make this money together, not financial advice.
This was called back in December 16, 2025. We called it on the last stream. Let me pull it up a little bigger right here. But you can see this line. It hadn't filled out yet. Look at that. The 236 level hadn't hit. But CryptoPoppy already had it set up right there.
True.
Waiting for it to happen, and it happened. So there you go, guys. All right. So that was that for Bitcoin. honestly, I think it seems like Bitcoin's gonna keep going to the upside. Hopefully, it does instead of going to the downside. But it already hit the level that crypto poppy marked on the charts. So I'm hoping now it's just a bounce back, big bounce back that we need. People are gonna get excited. Like I said, don't take this as a bad sign for your crypto. This is a discount for all the cryptos that you guys want to buy, because once Bitcoin goes down, everything else follows. And like we said, not financial advice. We've been loading up on some things that we've been loading up already. The price keeps going down. We keep buying more, and that's how you set yourself up for success when FOMO really hits. So you're not going all crazy like, oh my god, I need to get money to buy more crypto while the prices are going up, because that's what happens, and you don't want to be on that side of things. But anyways, that was Bitcoin.